Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone in the franchise world. My name is Paul Segreto, and this is Franchise Today. And I'm reporting live today from the Franchise Update Leadership and Development Conference in Buckhead, Georgia. And joining me today as my roving reporter, talking to some of the attendees, is Cheryl Ryan. Cheryl, I just want to make sure we have a connection. How are you today?
Testing. Hi, I'm good.
All right, good. That sounds good. It's been exciting so far at the event. I just want to read something, from Tom Wood, the chair of the conference, and he said the franchising world has taken many twists and turns, constantly challenging those of us in franchise development and growth to innovate, improve, or be left behind. And one surefire way, of course, is by attending the Franchise Leadership and Development Conference to stay ahead of the curve. And it really is an opportunity to meet with other forward thinkers, put our heads together, and look for ways to improve ourselves, our teams, and our brands. What you and I can look forward to at this year's event, a lot. And a lot of people are seeing that already. Cheryl, we've had a great event so far. We had a keynote speaker, Jordan Belfort, this morning, who really told us a lot. So, Cheryl, looks like we're getting a little bit of feedback from where you're at. Do you see anybody walking through the hallways that we might be able to speak with?
Not right now. But
okay. Why don't we do this? Why don't we move this way to the lobby, and let's see if we could talk with somebody in the lobby. Just giving everybody, our listeners that aren't here today, Jordan Belfort, the author of The Wolf of Wall Street, was our keynote this morning, and he was really a fabulous speaker, very high energy, very New York indeed. If you haven't read the book yet, I highly recommend it, The Wolf of Wall Street, and the movie coming out with Leonardo DiCaprio will be coming out at Christmas time, we heard. And Judge Reinhold, an Emmy-nominated actor from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, will be the keynote speaker later today. So, Cheryl, how are we doing right now?
We're good. I've got someone here that I'd like you to meet who's attending our conference. Can I ask your name? And Dan Black with Tortle Trading.
Dan, how are you today? This is Paul Segreto. We're reporting live on Franchise Today from the conference. So how many conferences? Is this your first conference that you've been at for the Leadership and Development?
Yes, that's correct. This is the first franchise conference I've attended.
Wow. Well, welcome to the franchise community. So going into it not knowing what to expect, what did you expect?
Well, I try to go – that's a great question. I don't necessarily go into these things expecting a whole bunch. I came in with an objective, and really that was to learn about the space and learn what people need in this space and where the heartache is and where the strength is. And what I've been just absolutely floored by is the level of conversation and how open people are to speaking with me and sharing their experience with me. It's really been just so far in the last 24 hours. As far as a welcome to the space is concerned, I don't know. I'm not sure that you could ask for a better one.
That's great. What do you think of Jordan Belfort this morning's speaker? Did you have an opportunity to sit in on his session?
I did have an
opportunity. Hello to
opportunity.
Amy Chang as she's walking by. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I did have an opportunity. He was awesome. Just really enjoyed his talk. He's got a very interesting story to tell, and he tells it with a lot of color. I think his message resonated with a large part of the audience as well. I think people understood, where he was coming from. He's a very tangible speaker. I loved it.
I think so as well. If Cheryl is still there, if I could have Cheryl back, thanks. I appreciate you taking the time and talking with us today.
Paul, thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Okay, Paul, I'm heading your way.
Okay. Cheryl, I've got somebody right here. If you can come up to the lobby, Stan Friedman, I'd love to talk with and get some of his feedback. So I've got Cheryl running up to Stan right now. So just 1 second. We're going to get Mr. Friedman's comments.
Here.
Hi.
Hi, can you tell us your name? And
Stan, You're an old-timer to franchising. What do you think about the conference?
Paul, single-handedly, this is my favorite conference of all that I've ever attended for the 14th year. Focused as it is, laser-focused on development and those issues that are around franchise marketing and franchise development. There's no conference that takes as deep a dive as this one into that topic and leaves nothing behind at all.
Now, you've been to quite a few of these conferences. What did you anticipate going into this particular conference, especially in light of coming out of an economic downturn and we're starting to see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel?
I think that those franchisors that are here because they, too, know that it's not your dad's old Buick anymore. What used to work and what low-hanging fruit used to allow you to get away with, that doesn't play anymore. And in today's world, if you're not on top of your game and if you're not sharpening your pencils and learning the best of the best from the best in the industry, then how are you going to go out there and lead others into your camp and help guide them without having the best of all the systems and tools and things that are state-of-the-art? You walk through this exhibit hall and see all the different suppliers like myself that are here, and we, too, are learning from each other, just as franchisors are doing the same.
Well, that's great. And I know your company, FRM, is exhibiting in the hall, and it looked like last night we had quite a bit of robust activity in there. And what is the sense as different franchisors are looking to expand their resources?
Again, Paul, it's all positive. Everyone that's here is here because they know that this is an economy and a time in our time that you can't just do the things you used to do the way you used to do them. And so metrics is, I probably think, the single greatest used word I've heard here at this whole conference has been metrics. Metrics. You can't manage what you can't measure, and you can't measure unless you have tools and systems that are going across all the channels of your business that will help you understand how each department is interacting with the other and how your franchisees are being supported efficiently so that franchisors can focus more of their time on growing top and bottom lines for themselves and their franchisees instead of doing the pushing and the admin things that technology can now do for them.
Great. I appreciate it, Stan. We'll see you walking around the conference and looking forward to catching up with you a little bit further. Thank you.
Always a pleasure, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you, Stan.
So, Cheryl, who else do we have?
I've got David Oppenheimer here, and he is with Greenberg Touring LLP.
Yes, David Oppenheim, Greenberg Touring LLP. How are you?
Awesome. It's a great and it's a pleasure to meet you, Dave. And so, you're an attorney, correct?
That's correct. I'm an attorney. I've been practicing for about 18 years. I specialize in representing franchise and licensing companies. I do sort of corporate, transactional, and regulatory work for franchisors.
So I think it's great that attorneys are here represented at the Leadership and Development Conference. So if you would, please give me some of your insight into what you feel is the heartbeat of the conference and what people are looking for in attending this year's conference.
Well, I got to tell you, this, as a lawyer, it really is an incredible opportunity for me to attend a conference like this and be surrounded by sort of, best-in-class managers and leaders in sales. I've learned, just yesterday I participated as a speaker in a wonderful program on achieving high-performance sales management. So my goal is, my takeaways here are going to be to learn about the sales process, understand how companies are developing sales teams, analyzing metrics to improve the sales process, so I can take that back, incorporate that into my practice, and help my franchise clients.
Awesome. Now, not that you would want to add competition to the equation, but what would you say to fellow franchise attorneys that have not made the investment to attend the Leadership and Development Conference?
I would say to them that there are a lot of opportunities to attend conferences like this, and it would be to your advantage to participate in those conferences.
That would be great. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. I'll get Cheryl back on. Cheryl, who else do we have coming down the pike? Anybody?
Thank you so much, David.
Yeah,
I
Cheryl.
I think I've spotted Therese Tilgen, the CEO of Franchise Update, and we're going to see if we can have a chat with her.
Okay, that'll be great.
Okay.
So we're recording live from the Franchise Update Leadership and Development Conference in Buckhead, Georgia. We've got several hundred franchisors participating along with suppliers, and as you just heard, attorneys as well. So, Cheryl, have you been able to gather up Therese and we talk to her?
I'm sorry, Paul. Can you say again?
Yeah, I was just going to say, where are we at? Are you meeting with Therese right now, or do we need to go to another guest? Oh, great.
No, I've tracked her down, and she's coming right our way. So.
Well, we certainly know she's an extremely busy person at this great event. So we are definitely looking forward to hearing her.
All right, here she is, Paul. This is Therese Tilgen, CEO of Franchise Update Media Group.
Therese, it's my pleasure to be here and my pleasure to speak with you today on Franchise Today. And I know you and Gary and Steve have been extremely busy. It's another stellar event. Give us a little bit of feedback right away. We're right in the middle of basically the main day of the event. I know the vibe is very, very positive. Give me some of your personal perspective on this.
Well, on the event as a whole, we are absolutely ecstatic because this is the largest attendance that we've ever had at this event in 14 years. We have 250 franchisors, a sold-out exhibit area, and just so much enthusiasm from franchisors about their growth. They're selling franchises. They have existing franchisees that are buying more franchises. So it's just really good to feel the vibe, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. And the vibe has been great. Even last night in the exhibit hall, as you said, a sold-out exhibit hall. The gist of the conversations was very positive. Unlike a few years ago when there was uncertainty, people were kind of holding back. Franchisors weren't sure whether they were going to make the next investment toward resources to help their systems grow, or even if they were going to continue to grow. And today, as we see that in the conversation last night, I think lent to it, everybody is looking for new ways in lead generation, bringing technology into the equation, customer review type programs. I think it's just been phenomenal. And is there anything else that you would like to add for our listening audience, especially the ones that weren't fortunate enough to come here to Georgia and enjoy such a great event?
Well, I think, the overriding theme here is that we always need to be students. We need to continually be sharpening our pencils. And we're able to do that by attending conferences like Franchise Updates Conference and others, and really meeting the folks that have implemented the best practices that are willing then to share them. There are so many of those folks here, as Tom Wood, our chairman, so eloquently, far more eloquently than me right now, stated this morning. I guess the other thing, too, that I wanted to share with you is we have just launched a new learning program called FranchiseLearningAcademy.com. And what this is, it's a video educational platform so that we could capture many of the highlights of this event, capture those proceedings. We'll take them home, we'll edit them, and in a few weeks we'll make them available to attendees for, there is a fee involved, there is value for attendees to share with their home teams, and for those that were not able to make the conference, they have an opportunity for just a great price again, priceless information is provided to still take the leadership conference home with them.
I think that'll be great. And I know I saw Gary in the hallway, and we were talking about Jordan Belfort, our keynote speaker this morning, and his book, The Wolf of Wall Street. And I know you read it as well as I did. What was your impressions of Jordan, seeing him live in person this morning?
Well, honestly, when I researched him months ago, when I was looking for keynote speakers, and he came up from a speakers bureau I work with. So I listened to him a lot and tried to understand his message before I even read the book. So we booked him. I read the book and then was scared out of my mind.
I'm glad you said that, because when I read the book, I said, "Oh my God, this is going to be an interesting keynote," and it was great.
And he exceeded my expectations, and I think the audience was very receptive to his message. And so, you and I can talk about some of that stuff offline, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely great. Well, Therese, thank you. I know you got places to go and people to see. I appreciate you take the time. Cheryl, do we have anybody else lined up right now?
Okay.
Cheryl, do we have anybody else lined up?
I'm turning her over to you right now.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
Therese. Thanks, Cheryl. Okay. Paul, I think I'm going to head outside. There's some people getting out of the sessions. Do you think that'll work for us? Okay.
Yeah, that'll be great. In the meantime, I'm going to let the people that aren't here know what they're missing right now. There are concurrent breakout sessions on, and here's the type of topics, really. Leveraging recruitment technology, closing performance gaps at every stage of development, growth targets, building out new and underdeveloped markets, attracting quality candidates, how to capture buyers with first-class marketing. I mean, these are the type of compelling topics that not only are people talking to attendees about, but the attendees are able to rub elbows with other CEOs, other people that have been in business a long, long time and have had tremendous levels of success. And in the room are, Steve Greenbaum, Shelley Sun, Tom Wood, Greg Voinovich. I mean, and the list goes on and on and on. And this is really what you're missing out on. So, make sure you tap into whatever videos that Franchise Update puts out there about the event, but make sure to get this on your calendar for next October, as well as the other great Franchise Update events, including multi-unit franchising conference, as well as the consumer marketing conference. So, Cheryl, are you outside now enjoying the sunshine?
I am, and it's beautiful out here, Paul. It really is. I am here with Julie Powers from the Crystal Company, and this is her first year attending our conference.
Well, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
And great.
Thank you.
First conference. This is great. So I assume you're a franchisor, correct? And this is your first conference?
That's correct.
So what were your expectations coming into this conference with the magnitude of this conference and the wealth of franchisor experience that's at the conference?
Well, I got to tell you, our company hasn't actively pursued new franchisees since 2007, so this was a must on our list because my CEO is very much interested in growth, and so we really were using this as a vehicle to learn about, best practices, what other, competitors and what other companies are doing proactively, since we haven't been in the game for quite some time. And we have new owners with, high growth expectations around franchisees.
Well, we're only halfway through the conference. Is there anything in particular that you're taking away that you've already learned or been exposed to?
Yeah, I think in particular, yesterday we had some breakout groups where there were some best practices shared around recruiting, some of the tools that they've put in place, specifically, like technology, the importance of having the right recruitment tools to get the right candidates and profiling. I think that was important for us as we, as we start chartering down this path.
Right, and that's awesome. That's an awesome message to take away. So to the other franchisors that weren't as fortunate or made the decision to attend the event, tell them why they should make sure this event is on their calendar for next year.
Well, I think there's a few reasons why we feel as a brand that this is a must. I think the networking opportunities are tremendous. I think being able to get close to a franchisee on a panel and really pick their brain about what their expectations are, multi-unit, all the way down to, even single operators and how they think. I think it's important, that you get that exposure, and this is a great vehicle for that. And obviously, networking is just as important for us as we learn best practices.
Absolutely, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today, and hope to run into you during the rest of the event.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome.
So, Cheryl, I know you're outside. You're enjoying the sunshine. I mean, outside of the doldrums of conference exhibit rooms and what have you, do we have anybody else to speak with, or are you going to just get a little bit of sunshine?
Yeah, no, I think there's still some people in the session. I was going to come your way and head into the lobby.
Okay, that would be great.
Okay.
Given the audience, our audience at home, again, not so fortunate to be here, a little bit of information regarding the curriculum here at the conference. Yesterday really kicked off very, very well with the Franchise CEO Summit, which was for franchise presidents and CEOs only, and it provided a private, high-level, and interactive environment for franchise CEOs, basically to have strategic business conversations, that really don't take place, or really couldn't take place anyplace else. And, through these engaging discussions and facilitated roundtables, the leaders tackled challenges that many brands are going through. They shared best practices that really drilled deep on culture, franchise growth, unit economics for franchisees and franchisor, new areas of growth and risk management. And as we are reporting live, there is some background noise. Cheryl, how are you doing over there? I see you in the lobby. You have somebody walking your way? So who do we have on the radio today?
It's so many people are still in the session. I am.
Okay, why don't we do this, Cheryl? I see Sherry Fishman walking your way to the lobby.
Okay.
And I would like to get her on the radio and get her feedback. So she'll be about a minute, and she's heading your way right now. So we are live from the Franchise Update Leadership and Development Conference. And I'm going to be joined right now by Sherry Fishman of Fishman Public Relations, and also a strategic partner of the Franchise Today show. Welcome, Sherry. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, that's great. I'm doing great. So I know you've been, this is old hat for you. You've been to a lot of the conferences by the Franchise Update Group. So tell us, how many is this? Is it 10, 12 years that you've been here?
Well, I don't know. I've known Therese since probably 88. I know that's kind of dating me a bit, but I've probably been here, I'd say 10 years, 10, 11 years.
So
I've come to these things.
So coming back year after year after year, what did you hope to gain by coming to this year's conference?
The take-home value is truly not only in sitting in the sessions, but it is who you're sitting with, okay? You're amongst leaders These are people that you don't always have the time to sit down with you, and so it is just a think tank of experts that are helping you, and you can feel the energy. And I love how every session that they're doing and how they approach it, it's just a totally different approach and different viewpoints. So fresh. That's what I love, to come here. I have to say, I am never disappointed.
That's awesome. So what would you say to the franchisors that didn't have the opportunity to show up? Why is it important for them to have the Leadership and Development Conference on their schedule every year?
I'd say it's a no-brainer. You have to do it. Just what you're going to gain from it to take back to your sales force. What is making things happen as far as what are you getting people to actually sign on, and I'd say the approaches that you're going to come back with, and just switch things up. That's what's so important. So if you lay back and you don't come here, you don't know, it's going to really pave the future for you as far as making things, kind of drumming up some new ideas and new approaches, and really help you meet your goals.
Well, thank you, Sherry, and thank you and Brad and Deborah and the entire team at Fishman Public Relations for being a strategic partner of Franchise Today. We really appreciate it.
Oh, our pleasure. Have a good day.
Well, Cheryl, it looks like we got a lot of people. Do you have Greg Voinovich with you right now?
Yeah, we've got Greg Voinovich, and he is at Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen.
Greg, welcome back to Franchise Today. We talked a few weeks ago, and now we're here live at the conference. This is great. Thanks for taking the time to talk. It looks like we got a very vibrant crowd. I love the session with you and Tom sitting in front of the audience, giving your feedback on all the mystery shopping. So if you would, give us a little bit of, or give our listeners a little bit of an overview of kind of your perspective of this entire conference.
Well, hey, Paul, thanks for inviting me back on. But, as I mentioned on your show earlier, if you're a franchising professional, this is the conference you've got to go to. This is postgraduate study, because this is where you learn how to be the best of the best, right? The best practices are just part of the norm here. Even someone like me, a dinosaur, has been around the block a couple of dozen times. I've already learned 3 or 4 really useful things today. And, a lot of folks look at an organization like Popeye, and we're a $2.25 billion system with over 3,000 locations. And they figure we have all the resources on earth and we do all the things. But I'm learning things from very small organizations, small startup companies, 50-unit companies, 100-unit companies, and what their best practices are. And it's really the brainstorming that happens in these organizations. And what's also very good about what Therese and Giff and Steve have done with this show is they've provided an environment where industry leaders are very open about what they know. There's no, I'm going to hide my best idea. There's no, I'm not sharing this knowledge with anyone else because it's going to give me a competitive advantage. And, we're very fortunate that we're one of the few large QSR retailers or QSR companies here. I don't have direct competitors here, so when I'm sharing this information, I'm sharing it with my friends, my associates, people that have helped me out in the past. And it's always kind of like, you have to give something back, right? So I guess we're saying take it forward, right?
I appreciate that. That's some great advice for people, and it's some great perspective. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate you being with us again.
Sure. Thanks for inviting me back on.
Hey, Cheryl, can you grab Lane Fisher right there?
Hi, we're broadcasting live.
Lane, we're live.
Come over here. Would you like to talk to Paul's online here? Here you go.
These are callers online? Oh, hi.
No, Lane, you're on Franchise Today. We're live from the conference, and wanted to get some various people's perspective of the conference, and I know you've been here quite a few years. What do you get from the conference coming back year after year after year?
I think that this conference is where really the most brilliant minds in franchise development come, and you can't possibly know what the brightest and the best are doing without coming here and hearing what these folks are doing. So, I mean, I'm here every year. I don't think I've ever missed one, and I don't think I've ever gone home without a page of notes.
So, I mean, obviously, like yesterday in the CEO Circle and the CEO Summit, a lot of information shared, an opportunity for young franchisors to rub elbows with very, very seasoned, very, very successful franchisors. What would you say to franchisors that are not here? Should this be on their calendar every year?
Well, I mean, I have this on the short list of probably the 3 or 4 events that I tell folks that they really need to come to. So I think folks that are not here are either not here out of ignorance or perhaps, you know, maybe have other things to do. But I think this is indispensable for any franchisor.
Great. I appreciate your feedback, Lane. Thank you very much for being back on Franchise Today.
You got it, Paul. Thanks.
Thank you, Lane.
So we've got a little bit of noise here. Cheryl, how about Gary? We'll get Gary off the phone from franchise phones. Then we can get him. Who else we got? Hey, let's get Paul Wolberg.
Hi, we're broadcasting live at Franchise Today.
Hi.
We've got.
So, Paul, how are you today?
Doing well, thank you.
Great. Paul, I know you're a veteran of franchising, and this is always one of the top events on many franchisors' minds throughout the year. What did you expect to take away from this year's event?
Well, a lot of things that I expected to take away, but a lot of why I come from that standpoint is to make sure that get validation for the systems and the things that we're currently doing in franchising and talking with other franchisors about what they're doing and taking that and implementing it into our system. So using it always as a growth vehicle for improving what we have going on and being the best of class.
Well, great, and tremendous success to you and Lonnie Helgeson over at Island Time Treasures. I appreciate you being on. If you would give Cheryl the phone back, I think we're trying to get a few other people. Thanks for being the guest today.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you.
You know, Cheryl, you might want to walk and follow them over into the lunch area, and we could talk to some people down that way. So, yeah, I would put that on mute until you get in there. All right, we're live from the Franchise Update Leadership and Development Conference, and I have my roving reporter, Cheryl Ryan, working around, and we're trying to talk with some people that are coming out of the breakout sessions and heading over to lunch. They're actually sprinting over to lunch, and Cheryl's trying to keep up with them right now, so bear with us a little bit. I do want to thank Gary and Therese and Steve Olson for giving us the opportunity for broadcasting live from this illustrious event. It really has been great so far, and we're just waiting for Cheryl to get back with us and let us know that she has a few more guests to be able to talk with. Cheryl, how are you doing?
Hi, Paul. I'm doing great. I'm here with Brian Summers from Jersey Mike's Stubbs.
Jersey Mike's, Brian Summers. Brian, how are you today?
Doing great, Paul. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on. Thanks, Cheryl. Love your program, Paul.
Well, thank you, and I love your product. You know that very well. Hi, there's Tom Wood going by. How are you, Tom? Brian, this is, obviously a number one event on many franchisors' minds throughout the year. And obviously you come from a very successful organization like Jersey Mike's. So what did you hope to gain from this year's conference?
Well, already I've gained so much. I mean, just in the breakout sessions I just attended, I was having a challenge going back and forth and hearing about the new technology that's out there that we use to recruit. There's also a heck of a panel on talking about just the different ways you can go about attracting new potential franchisees. So it's just packed full of great people in this industry, successful people in this industry, and it's a great venue to learn new things and validate some of the things that you're already doing. So great event.
Yeah. Any particular aha moments for you so far at the event?
You know what? I was in 2 sessions today. This is talking about attracting quality candidates, and just a heck of a panel with the VP of franchising for Sport Clips was up there. Greg Delks, a friend of mine from Firehouse Subs, was giving me some really great new ideas, and then the guys from Papa Murphy's and Front Burner Brands, where they just delivered a heck of a panel discussion. Lots of great new ideas that I can definitely implement in our recruitment strategy, going back to the office on Friday.
Well, great. Okay, Brian, to yours and Jersey Mike's continued success. I appreciate you being on Franchise Today.
Paul, keep on doing what you're doing. We love you, man.
Thanks. All right, Cheryl, do we have anybody else over there?
Thank you. Hi, Paul. I've got Alexandra Watson with me from Franchise eSource Brands International, and this is her first year attending our conference. Hi, Paul.
Alexandra, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. So, first year at the conference, what did you hope to take away from this year's conference?
Well, I'm fairly new to the franchise industry, so I'm hoping to gain a little bit more knowledge about the industry and in the franchising space, particularly in sales and development. And I actually just set in on a general a session for sales and came back with more notes than I could carry.
Wow, that's really good to hear. So what would you say to the people that have not made the investment to attend the Leadership and Development Conference?
Oh, huge mistake. I'm glad I came this year. It's going to be the first thing on my calendar for every year to come. I've learned, like I said, more in the first session I sat in than probably the last, 2 months just at my own industry and standing in my own office. So it's been fantastic.
Great. Well, that's great. Okay, if you can give the phone back to Cheryl.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Paul.
Cheryl, we got Michelle Rowan right there from Franchise Business Review to your left. I'd like to speak with her.
Okay. This is Paul Segreto, and he's broadcasting live from Franchise today. Can you join us?
Yeah. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Michelle. How are you? So, old timer like yourself in franchising, why do you come back to the Franchise Leadership and Development Conference year after year?
Well, I think I always come because of the size. It's so much easier to talk to people at a smaller event like this. But I just walked out of, this is my 9th time coming, and I just walked out of a session with 4 things to take away, to share with clients, to try and do. So that's, I love being able to do that and pull ideas for people that can't be here, but I would absolutely encourage people to attend here.
Well, I know Franchise Business Review works with different organizations across a lot of different industry segments and channels. What would you say to the young franchisors, the new franchisors that have not attended one of these conferences as of yet?
Yeah, I just sat with and met a guy that is just getting his FTD paperwork in order, so he's not even actively franchising yet, and he said, I think it's a little premature for me to be here, and I said, it's not, because there's so many people that are willing to share what mistakes they made, and if you can, especially turning your franchise into a system or in the beginning stages, you can make a lot of costly mistakes just by what you do or don't put in that document. So I think he's come at the right time to kind of spend less money in those errors. Yeah.
Absolutely. So any aha moments so far for you this conference?
Yeah, I love how open and how people share so many great ideas here. But I just sat in a session where one sub company was up on the panel, and his competitor asked him a question, and he answered it, shared his intel, and there's definitely enough room in the franchise space for everyone to bring out some quality products and services and still share to make it a better industry. So I'm glad to be part.
That's great. I appreciate you being on Franchise Today, Michelle. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Paul. Hi, Paul.
Cheryl?
I've got Mike Hawkins here with the Dwyer Group.
Some of my favorite people, the Dwyer Group. Welcome to the Franchise Today show.
Here you go.
Boy, I tell you, I just love the Dwyer Group. I mean, everything about it, the culture. I've had Mark Liston on. I've had Dina Dwyer-Owens on several times. I'm looking forward to having Mary Kennedy Thompson on November 7th as we lead into the Veterans Day weekend. And now I have you. Welcome to Franchise Today. Thank you for being here.
I appreciate it. You've got good people you talk to and are going to talk to. Hello?
So, I heard you on that. What do you hope to gain from this year's conference?
I pretty much have an attitude about coming to a conference, and that is you're never close to knowing everything, so you're always looking at things that you're not doing you can do better. Trying to, the sum of many minds is always greater than the sum of one. And so I'm always kind of looking for those things that I'm not doing or things that we can do better.
Well, great. Looks like we have a lot of background noise right now, and I guess Cheryl's trying to calm some people down. So I apologize for the breakup there. What would you say to organizations that have not made the investment to come to Leadership and Development Conference as of yet?
I think they need to calculate how much money they're really losing by not getting the information. Are you there?
Yes.
Hello? Okay. We're cutting out.
Okay, great. I appreciate you being with us today. If you give the phone to Cheryl, that would be great.
Thank you so much, Mike. Is it? Hi, Marianne.
Got a little noisy there right now, so I apologize for that. But I see you have Marianne O'Connell from FranWise. Marianne, welcome back to Franchise Today.
Thanks, Paul. It's great to be back.
Marianne, you've been to this conference numerous times. What do you hope to get out of this year's conference?
This year's conference for me, I missed last year, so it's a catch-up for me. It's really getting those key pieces that I can take back to my clients and make sure that new and emerging franchisors will get their development ramped up faster, smarter, more efficiently. And so far, these sessions, I'm already way ahead of the game.
Well, great. Is there any particular aha moments or light bulbs that went off so far for you, an experienced person in the franchise space?
I was really impressed by the last breakout session I went to, which was leveraging technology. So I'm now going to head over to the exhibitors because I've realized a lot of our supplier partners have changed what they're doing, and there are new tools I need to learn about.
Well, that's great. I appreciate it, Marianne. It's good seeing you, and thanks for being on Franchise Today.
Thanks, Paul. Looking forward to going back and talking with some of those great franchisors and getting more tidbits.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you, Marianne.
Cheryl, can you hear me? I have Mr. Tony Padula heading your way, and I would love to interview him real quick. No, right here. This one right here. Tony?
Okay, great.
Yeah, go right ahead. We're setting up Tony Padula from Goddard Schools. Tony's a very seasoned franchise veteran, so I look forward to getting some of his impact as well.
What do I do?
Here, we're with Anthony.
Oh, okay.
Tony, how are you today?
I'm very well, thanks, Paul. Yourself?
Good. So I know you've been to the Leadership and Development Conference probably many, many more times than I have. What did you hope, as a seasoned franchise executive, what did you hope to gain out of this year's conference?
Well, I always come to this conference with the attitude that I'm going to learn something. Despite my years, thank you for reminding me, despite my years of experience, Paul, I'm never too old to learn something new. And this morning, again, has been proof of that. I mean, I've just attended to one of these sessions on lead generation, and I have at least 4 or 5 nuggets that I'm bringing back, and I want to start implementing as soon as I get back to the office.
That's great to hear. What would you say to the mature franchise organizations that have opted not to attend the Leadership and Development Conference? What are they missing?
Well, obviously it's hard for me to comment on the reasons why they would not. But I would like to believe that even if you are a mature franchisor, as we are, we're 25 years in business at the Goddard School, but you have to believe that there's always something new that somebody is doing and you can learn. So whether you're learning from an emerging franchisor or whether you're learning from well-respected, well-established franchisor, there's always something that you can learn. And I think just the opportunity, if nothing else, the opportunity to network and share your experiences, so it's a transfer of information both ways.
That's great. Tony, thanks for taking the time, and look forward to catching up with you at the conference.
My pleasure. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Tony.
Cheryl, looks like we got a couple of other people heading your way. So let's see, we're reporting live from the Franchise Update Leadership and Development Conference, and our roving reporter, Cheryl Ryan, is tracking down some people. Cheryl, who do we have now?
We have Emilio Farina from Club Metro USA Franchising.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Welcome to Franchise Today. So we're here live at the Franchise Update Leadership and Development Conference. Tell us, why are you attending this year's event?
Number one, to be surrounded by the industry leaders and take back as much as possible, learn as much as possible, network, and just really get the inside knowledge of people that are way more experienced than me in this business, and possibly give a little bit back since I'm on into give a little back also.
So are there any particular type of aha moments or light bulbs that went off so far for you at the conference?
Yes, for me, absolutely. Within the first probably 2 hours of the morning session yesterday in the CEO Summit, I really got a clarity of something that I knew, based on my experience in the last 4 years, that I think there's a disconnect between the executive level, us in the corporate, or I call the home office now. That was one of the nuggets also, home office versus corporate office. So that's the second nugget. But the first main nugget was that the dilution, the brand vision, the brand story, the passion gets diluted down from the franchise level, corporate home level, down to the franchisee a little less, and it'll dilute a little more to the franchisee's manager, then dilute a little more to the staff at the front desk, and then by the time the client or the member gets the product or our fitness center, it's diluted. So we're really going to focus on trying to not be so top-heavy and training so hard on the franchisees, and really start to come up with programs that delivers that message directly down. Get down to the core of the people that are really serving the members.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today on Franchise Today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Cheryl, I noticed in the lobby, I saw Tom Epstein. Do you see him over there from Franchise Payment Networks? I think it would be to your right.
Thanks for directing me. Yeah, I can't.
So we're live from Franchise Update Leadership and Development Conference from Buckhead, Georgia at the Intercontinental Hotel. And our roving reporter, Cheryl, is looking. I think we might have missed him. Anybody else there that we could get?
We're...
So we are live from the Franchise Update Conference, and as any live broadcast would have, sometimes we run into some issues. Okay. Well, it looks like we're going to wrap up today's show. It's been a great event so far. We look forward to sharing some more details throughout the event. Look for the messaging on Facebook. Look for it on Twitter. It'd be great. Cheryl, that's fine. We're wrapping up.
Yeah, I think they've had just a full day of learning, and everybody's heading to lunch and enjoying networking, and it's been great.
Well, that's great. You did a great job. I appreciate it. So until next week, everybody, my name is Paul Segreto, wishing you the best, the very best in this great, great thing we call franchising. Franchise Today is out.
Thank you.
That's good.
When it's PCS time, you know the drill. Pack, research the new base, get the kids in school, because family supports family. At American Public University, we support military families with flexible, affordable online education that moves with you. As a military spouse, your tuition rate is the same as your partner's, just $250 per credit hour. American Public University, education that moves with you. Learn more at apu.apus.edu/military.